Hey guys, and welcome back. Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got Milos Raonic taking on Taylor Fritz in the round of 16 of Queens. How's everybody doing? It's gonna be a fun stream. I'm excited for this one. Some people will join in, and to some, this may be a serve bot and serve bot kind of contest, and it might be. But I'm excited for it. I think actually, if you look at the draw of Queens, I think this could end up being an absolutely crucial match in this tournament, and I mean that with my entire whatever. I really think so. If you look at the Queens draw, because if you're looking at the draw, it's really opened up, especially on the bottom half. The winner of this one takes on Jordan Thompson in the quarterfinals, and on the bottom you have Musetti Nakashima and Billy Harris versus Impechi Pericard. So to me, the winner of this one is kind of the favorite to reach the final, maybe. I maybe like the winner of the Jordan Thompson versus Raonic or Fritz quarterfinal, but I feel like this is a really important matchup. Fritz had a very successful clay season, really outside of that one tournament that he played at the Bavarian International. Outside of that, he was just successful clay season. And I feel like he should be even better on grass. He's won 2 grass titles. So anyway, I'm excited for it. And yeah. What's up, Ghost? 75 plus aces today. Yeah, can Raonic break his own record? That's what we're all looking for, right? Can he hit 60 aces? That's what we're all kind of waiting for here. We will see. We will see. But the guys are currently warming up. We're going to get started up soon. These two have never played before. These two have never played before. Fritz is number 12 in the world. Raonic is number 186 in the world, but he's just not really been healthy, honestly. Milos, he's been competitive with some of the best of the best. I mean, he took a set off Demonor at the Australian Open, nearly took a set off Sinner at Rotterdam. Couldn't quite pull it off there, but to be honest, I think most people who were watching the Raonic match felt like even though he didn't win the first set, he had a very decent chance of winning the second set had he been able to continue, because he was playing at a very high level. Is that top 10 level, top 15? I don't know, but he was competitive with Sinner, so I mean, it had to be, right? But yeah, that's kind of the catch-up. Raonic hit 47 aces and won a 11-9 in the third set tiebreaker versus Nori in the first round. Fritz took out Taro Daniel 6-3, 6-3. And here we are. Here we are now. All right. Raonic versus Taylor Fritz. Excited for this one. I think it's going to be a great match. I really genuinely think it's going to be a great match. Now, if you're coming for flashy shot making, a Raonic match or a Fritz match is probably not the top match where you're going to see that, but I'm still excited for it. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a high-level grass court match for what it's worth. As Raonic misses that backhand wide, we are at 30 to love. 30 love. But how's everybody doing? Let me know what you guys have been up to in the chat. I am currently just still just kind of waking up a little bit, to be honest, and getting myself ready for the day. I kind of slept in today after a late night yesterday. Backing down line 4 into Fritz. That's in the net. So Raonic is at 30-15. I was playing tennis in the evening yesterday, and then I was going to go see Inside Out 2 in theaters, which didn't quite work out, but I was still walking around, hanging out with my brother pretty late yesterday, which was fun anyway. Hey, what's up, Lexi? We thought there's no more streams today. Yeah, there's a bit of a mix-up with the Medvedev stream, which was up. Yeah, I'm here doing the Fritz Raonic. Excited for it. Yeah, there's still another stream to go. Backhand down the line. Raonic hits it in the net. 40-15. Hey, what's up, Daz? Wake up, Anthony. What's up? What's up? Do you think Draper could beat Alcaraz on grass? Yes. I think that's an upset alert match. I will say this. Alcaraz, I've noticed a pattern with Alcaraz, and he can struggle in his second matches of tournaments. I've noticed this a while ago, and some may say the pattern doesn't mean anything, and it might not, but I really have noticed that in his second matches is sometimes where he struggles the most. I don't know why, but it really does happen that way. I remember, can't remember, was it Rusevori in Madrid last year? There's been quite a few examples of it. I mean, De Jong and the French, he struggled quite a bit. And Draper, listen, I saw him play Draper in Basel in 2022, 7-5 in the third set. And from that point on, I was like, Draper has a game that can really test Alcaraz. They could have some great matches in the future. Draper is confident, and he loves a grass court. I think, yes. I saw some people clowning some people on Instagram for saying that Draper even has a chance, which is whatever. But yeah, for me, yes. I think it's an upset alert. In fact, it's so much so an upset alert that I'll go with the upset. I'm gonna take Draper in 3 sets. I could be wrong. I rarely go with such a big upset as my kind of prediction, and I'm not confident at Alcaraz could win easily. He really could. He's the big favorite, but I'm gonna go with the upset alert. I'm gonna take Draper in 3 sets. I think Draper has the game that can test Alcaraz. Now, does he have the mental kind of confidence at the moment? We'll see that, which is a big thing as well. Forehand inside out is very good from Raonic, so he goes to 15 love. He's got the big shots that can pull Alcaraz back. It's always tough kind of defending a title. It's like Alcaraz's like 5th grass court event. Obviously, he started playing some of his best tennis on grass last year. He was playing amazing in his first round match. But, I mean, Draper is playing very solid at the moment, too. And he did look great in that final against Berrettini. He looked very, very on it and very confident, which is amazing for the sport, I think, to have Draper doing well. Also, to see Korda doing well with the win over Dimitrov. These are 2 guys that I've been backing for a while and wanting to see get that success. Now I just need Felix to kind of step it up, Auger-Aliassime. And he kind of did in Madrid, and I feel like on grass he should be even better. So I'm excited. Everything has kind of fallen into place a little bit. Kind of as I thought. I don't know if Draper and Korda will end year-end top 10 this year, as some people are making predictions for them. But I said I think it's a year too early where people are making these predictions. I think top 10 next year could be much more likely, and I hope that that's the case. It would be great for the sport, either Draper or Korda. They're very marketable and very – I like watching them. Serve here from Raonic. Inside out, backhand, forehand, Raonic put away, 1-1. 1-1, 1-1. That's it. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to sub as well. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the coverage. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the coverage. I hit an around the net shot yesterday. I was quite excited about it. It was during practice. It wasn't during a match, but I was playing the best tennis I think I've played in a long time yesterday. I was very excited. I was just like, I was kind of just in the zone. I had that thing going. I was very confident and excited, and kind of everything was working, and it was fun. It was fun. But I hit this around the net shot. I literally don't think I've hit an around the net shot in like 10 years. Part of that is the fact that I stopped playing for 5 years, but I hit this blazing forehand winner passing shot around the net, and now it just sounds like I'm making it up, which is fine. Maybe I am. That's a let from Fritz. It's another first serve here. Maybe I am. Take that, world. It's another first serve here from Taylor coming. Backhand of Fritz down the line. That goes long. Goes to 15 all. Do you think Murray will skip Wimbledon and play the Olympics? Do I think he'll skip Wimbledon? No. I think he'll play. I could be wrong. I don't think he looked that. It didn't look like he was. with a few weeks time, it looked like he could potentially be quite healthy for Wimbledon today. It didn't look like it was like a career, like if he has any say about it, if he can step on the court at all, he will play Wimbledon. In fact, I almost feel like maybe partly the reason why he stopped so early is the fact that he was worried about if he kept playing, maybe he'll make it worse for Wimbledon. I think he'll play Wimbledon. Now, the other question, which I thought you were asking first, is will he play the Olympics? I'm starting to think the answer is more and more likely yes, especially because of what he said. He said that the Olympics is something keeping him motivated. And he's had great success at the Olympics playing for his country. Now, I know it's on clay. It's not at Wimbledon, but I'm seeing a more and more likely possibility that he ends his career at the Olympics rather than at Wimbledon, which I think would be interesting. I respect that, if that is what happens. Back in cross court, Fritz, forehand of Raonic. That goes wide. 2-1 for Fritz. Starting off early, just solid. Both guys solid on serve. That's what we expected from this one. Fritz Ghana. I need a translation real quick. Sorry, I don't know Spanish. If anybody could translate, that'd be great. But my prediction for the match, I didn't do my prediction. So my prediction for this match, I'm gonna say Fritz wins in 3 sets. Fritz wins in 3 sets is my prediction. I could see other possibilities happening. But yeah, I'm gonna go 7-6 or maybe even 7-5 in the third. That's my prediction for this one. 7-6 or 7-5 in the third for Fritz. I think it's going to be an epic match. As soon as I saw this one was in the lineup, I knew I wanted to commentate, especially with how the draw is looking. And if Alcaraz does beat Draper and reach the final, I mean, I think that, well, Fritz will be tough for Alcaraz. But Raonic, for example, he could be a danger for Alcaraz. If he stays healthy and keeps just, I mean, he's a danger for anybody on a grass court. I've always been very high on Raonic. I'm also a fan of the guy, honestly. Growing up, he was one of my favorites. And I'm happy to see him still playing, still around, still killing it. And yeah, the dude has a monster serve, and he's still competitive with everybody. And on grass, he's a huge challenge. I mean, who did he lose to last week? There's somebody really top level. Like, was it Demonor? In Sutter Toggenbosch? Yeah, Demonor. So, I mean, if you're losing to Demonor, there's no shame. $30 left here for Raonic. Very kind of simple stuff going on so far. Just both guys just killing it on serve. That's first serve in the net. This is a very serve-heavy contest. There's no doubt. 2 of the best serves in the world. Fritz stepping in for the second serve, and Raonic blasts the second serve down the tee. So 40 love. We got a while to go to 47 aces. How many have we had so far? None. Okay. 2 aces for Fritz. We've had a lot of service winners, though. That's why I thought. I haven't really remembered an ace from Raonic. He's hit a lot of service winners, though. Serve, yeah, and a forehand, the net. It's good stuff, though. High percentage serving from Raonic. Not really necessarily hitting the lines. Just so much pace on it. Doesn't matter anyway, right? Sean said earlier that he doesn't want to make bets with my faves anymore because I seem to jinx them. Yeah, that's not good to be a bit of a jinx. That's tough. That's rough to live with that. Taylor and straights for me. Okay, I like it. Let's go, Taylor. Are you in Japan? I'm not in Japan. The photos on Insta probably look like I was in Japan, which I quite like. My big I like to be in Japan. I'd like to pretend that I'm in Japan, which I guess I did. No, that was the photo that you saw, which I think it's kind of inspired by Japanese culture with like the umbrellas and stuff. That was in South Carolina. I was on a trip in Myrtle Beach. But it was a cool spot. And yeah, I have the shirt I was wearing is from Japan, which is quite cool. Yeah, no, I'm currently at home. Backhand of Fritz. It's a good shot. 30 love. Raonic misses that backhand. Demonor's out already. Yeah, Musetti. Not sure if it was Musetti. It was Musetti, Lexi. Yep, you got it. Musetti's dangerous. I mean, it was his first top 10 win of the season. Came on grass. So that was surprising. I didn't expect that from Musetti, but Musetti's kind of having an underrated low-key season. He's another one of those guys. Draper, Korda, Musetti, even Demonor. Like, I'm happy to see these guys having success. Like, it's been built up, like, for all of these guys. And FAA, if he could just join into the club as well, maybe Chapo, but especially FAA. Like, then we've got all of the guys who I've been waiting on to really break through. I mean, Raonic is number 1. Carlos is number 2. I don't know what's happening with Runa. But to be honest, I haven't been that high on Runa. He's one of the guys I just haven't been that high on to do big things. Him, Shelton. A lot of people are very high on those two. I'm just not as high on them to do as big things as some other guys. That's a good backhand down the line for Fritz. But guys that I've been high on, Draper, Korda, I mean, these guys are finally kind of fulfilling potential a little bit, which is awesome. Musetti as well. And Fritz, by the way, just talking about Fritz, right? Let's talk about Fritz. One of the hardest working guys on tour, having a hella underrated season, in my opinion. I really think Fritz is having an underrated season. And he's coming into a surface that he likes. I'm just going to play the role of Fritz. What's the word? I guess supporter, whatever. No, Fritz, what's the word? Fritz defender. I'm going to play the role of Fritz defender. 25-11 on the season. He's got a title in Delray Beach. Good win over Tommy Paul in the final. 25-11. A lot of that on clay. Played a lot of clay. 4th round of Roland Garros. He beat good clay quarters like Coria and Lajovic. Beat Kokkinakis in a 5-setter. Lost to Ruud in a close 4-set match. And then what else? Quarterfinal of Rome. Beat Dimitrov. Beat Korda. Beat Fognini. Semifinal of Madrid. Beat guys like Hurkacz, Francisco Cerundolo, Sebastian Baez, Darderi. Lost to Rublev. Munich got to the final. Beat Draper. Beat Garin. Only lost Musetti, Monte Carlo. I mean, these are not bad losses. And other than that, I mean, he's had a pretty great season. Australian Open, had a great Australian Open, had a great United Cup. Win over Tsitsipas, fantastic in Australia. Had an awesome match against Djokovic. I think Fritz is having an underrated season. I mean, he's not playing like out of his mind, but I would not be surprised. I feel like Fritz is primed for a good result. Now, whether that comes, let's say, early next year, if he keeps going on this trajectory, or if it comes this year, I don't know. But I feel like things are lining up well for Fritz. He's on a good momentum. I'd love to see him perform well on grass. I feel like he has good potential on grass, especially this year. He still has not reached a semifinal of a slam. I could see it being here at Wimbledon. I could see a few American guys doing well at Wimbledon. I really could. I have more faith for the American men at this slam than I've had in maybe my whole time really, really paying attention and watching tennis. I don't know if that sounds crazy. It's maybe kind of sounds out of nowhere, but whether it's Tommy Paul or Fritz or Sebastian Korda, I really feel like all of these guys have potential to, maybe it's crazy, not just reach the semifinal, maybe reach the final. I feel like it's a pretty open tournament, and I feel like these guys have chances. Especially if Djokovic doesn't play. At least quarterfinals, but I feel like we could go a step or two further. And that might not age well, and it probably won't, really, knowing the American men. But, I mean, with Korda beating Dimitrov today, it's only looking better. So, anyway, we'll see. 30 love here. Raonic still a serving contest here. Serve from Milos. Why? I mean, it doesn't matter. That's an ace. It doesn't matter whether he's hitting a first serve or a second serve. He's hitting serve winners. That was a second serve ace. Yes, I noticed the shirt too. So Japanese. Oh, well, yeah, it was. Yeah, with the kind of warrior on the back. Yeah, it was cool. I like that shirt. And Japanese writing. 3-3. Fritz in the net. OMG Z3 beat Medi. Wow. Yeah, Zhang. Wow, that's got to be one of the best wins for a Chinese man ever in tennis. Fantastic. Zhang is awesome. Zhang is great. That's a great win over Medvedev. Medvedev didn't look fully promising in his first round. He was up a break early in that third set, but Zhang 7-5 in the third. I didn't catch the end of that. I was paying attention to a lot of other stuff at the time, kind of preparing for this as well. But I saw Zhang broke back, and I saw that he was keeping it close late in the third set. But yeah, what a win for him. It makes sense. He was hitting with a lot of great rocket power on clay courts. On clay courts when he beat Shelton in Madrid. Shelton, by the way, needs to figure out the natural surfaces. Right now, he's looking like he might be a hard court specialist. He's still young, though. He's got time. I mean, in the U.S., we don't practice a whole lot on clay and grass, but he is struggling, I'll be honest. It's quite clear he's struggling, but hopefully he can figure that out, even though it might be tough for him. Even a few years down the road, we'll see, though. Backhand. That's a good return from Milos. Forehand down the line's too good. It's looking like it's going to be a tiebreaker with just the smallest of margins because both guys are just impenetrable on their serves at the moment. I mean, let me look at the stats. One thing I will say, I don't know if Raonic has a rock-solid first serve percentage, although maybe he does. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So Raonic, 50% of first serves in, yet he still has not dropped a point on serve. 6 for 6 on second serve. And look at Fritz. Dude. I mean, it's ridiculous. We're not getting a whole lot of long rallies. If you came here for, Ferrer, Gilles Simon type long rallies, you came to the wrong match. But you came to the right stream. Forehand of Fritz. The backhand of Raonic hits the tape. That goes back in the side. 4-3 for Fritz. 4-3 for Taylor Fritz. As we head to a tiebreaker. That goes 70-68. Eubanks won too. Yeah, let's go Chrissy Eubanks. I love it. Dude, this Wimbledon is going to be so good. Let me just say that. The Wimbledon this year is going to be so good. Because I feel like it's going to be one of the most interesting and open tournaments we've had in a long time. Roland Garros seemed like it was going to be that. It didn't really end up being that way, did it? I still can't believe how spot on I predicted that draw. Like I had it like perfect, right? Well, I put so much thought into it before I predicted the draw, and I got all the semifinals and finals exactly right. I had Alcaraz over Zverev, I had Alcaraz over Sinner, and I had Zverev over Casper, and I had 7 of the 8 quarterfinalists right. I also predicted Medvedev wasn't going to make the quarters, and I was right about that. So I got it pretty much spot on. Don't know how, but Wimbledon's going to be much tougher to predict, and it's going to be fun. Wimbledon's going to be fun. I think someone crazy is going to win the tournament. Like someone outside the usual names, the usual suspects. I really think so. That's my big prediction. It's been my big prediction for a minute. We'll see. Chrissy Eubanks is one of those guys, though. He's dangerous. Now, he hasn't been performing that well this season. Is he really going to be able to have another deep run? I don't know. But he's exciting. And he's a good grass courter. He's got a big serve. He likes to serve and volley. He hits so many winners. Just goes for winners, even off return of serve. He likes that first strike. So nice, yeah. Chrissy Eubanks. So Z3 and Eubanks, I like them both. Yeah, Alexi, I mean, they're 2 of my faves from the lower tiers. What's up, chick? Watching from Facebook. That's cool, too. By the way, guys, please do not forget to like and subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis, all that stuff. If you are joining in, new, all 3 setters for them and the decider in their favor. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, good wins. Chris, I mean, Bublik is tough on grass court too, so he made him play, but yeah, so many good shots too. I mean, it reminds me how good grass courts are for shot making. Really, like we've seen so many crazy shots. That Raonic, that center dive, the way Raonic dove on the court was amazing. Well, first he got himself way out of position, and then he was, I mean, the way he dove to even get his racket under the ball, and then yeah, just the talent to be able to hit that for a crazy passing shot. Unbelievable athleticism. However, he managed to do that. And also Berrettini's match point against who did he play today? I went 3 sets. I forgot who it was though. Somebody pretty good. Oh, against Mickelson. All right, we got 40-15. Raonic with the serve. He's not making a lot of first serves, but he's killing Fritz with the second serve too. Fritz's return, especially off the back end, is just not great. Maybe he needs to switch up his return position. He's standing in so close. I feel like maybe if he stands further back, he could actually give himself more of a shot. But anyway, we're at 4-4. If you are just joining in, as I mentioned earlier, these two have never played. It's left 15 here. First kind of chance, that Fritz serve was called out, and it surely looked out. The challenge. Second serve from Fritz. This first kind of half of a chance for either guy, really. Backhand Raonic, the forehand of Fritz. Raonic is in this rally. That's a great forehand cross court. Something to cheer about for Milos. The missile. The Canadian Tower. It's a big forehand. I've always raved on Raonic's forehand. I think he has a great forehand, or at least he had a great forehand. And yeah, it's still pretty good. That's a big forehand return. Backhand slice in the net. Oh, Milos had a good return. They just couldn't figure it out with the backhand. Dude, that hurts so much more watching Milos, because you just know Milos struggles to even put himself in those positions. Serve down T is very good from Taylor. Let's go, Taylor. 30 all. Let's go, Taylor. Good stuff there. First serve is out. It's another second serve. Listen, it's Raonic who's done exceptionally well on second serve. Fritz can still struggle more on second than first serve. Backhand. Raonic in this rally. That's a solid forehand, though. If you are comparing forehands, Fritz does have the better forehand. I mean, even though Raonic has a good forehand, in my opinion, Fritz has the better and more solid forehand. Like, it's actually a very, very good shot, which is why he's reached top 5 in the world. Raonic has also reached top 5 in the world. He's actually reached top 3. Very well-deserved top level that he was playing in 2016. And so many bad draws they had that year too. And then he didn't have any chance to, keep improving in 2017 because he got injured again. That goes out. 5-4 for Taylor. He knows that was a crucial hold. It's 5-4. Let me ask, how many slams do you think Raonic could have won a slam had it not been for his injuries, and how many do you think he could have won? Like, if I asked that about Del Potro, everybody says more slams. Even with the big 3 there, everyone. Find me one person who doesn't say that Del Potro would have won more slams had he not been injured. Now, you can argue that's a part of it, but would he have won more had it not been for the injuries, which are an asterisk? I think everybody says yes. With Raonic, it's a little bit more of he's not Del Potro. to be, and very few people are won Martin Del Potro. So, how many do you think he could have won a slam, and how many do you think he could have won? My answer is yes. That Raonic would have won a slam had it not been for the injuries. Because he kept getting injured, and he was showing gradual improvement throughout his career, kind of Del Potro-esque, but just never had a chance to build on it. Not quite Del Potro-esque, but a little bit. I would say at least one. I'd say he would win one in the Big Three era, because it's so hard to win slams in the Big Three era. I'd say in the era that he played in, he would have won one slam had it not been for the injuries. Had he played in another era, maybe more, but I would say one. Because I love him at Wimbledon too. I would have said one Wimbledon. But who knows? The Big Three have been just so dominant at all, especially the majors outside the US Open. And that was never Milos' best major. He liked Australia more too. It's backhand shank. 15 love for Raonic. I don't know what it is, but I kind of like watching big servers more now than I used to. I don't like it compared to like an Alcaraz match, but I don't know why. When I was younger, I absolutely despised this, as do most people. I don't know why. I've just settled, I guess, for less, which is the unfortunate truth of it. But Raonic is one of the most watchable serve bots, I think, and he is a serve bot, but he's one of the most watchable ones. Fritz, I wouldn't classify him as a serve bot, although I know a lot of people would, but I think he's got a lot more skills and is way too good of an athlete to be considered in serve bot territory. Although his serve is in serve bot territory, so I don't know. He's got a lot of big weaknesses, but he's got some good strengths as well outside the serve. I mean, that's just a ridiculous serve from Raonic. Raonic at his best is one of the best servers of all time. Because how the hell do you do what he just did? Really, if you're stepping up to the line and just confidently hitting that serve with that amount of kick, with that kind of an angle, just out of nowhere, is ridiculous. It's not exciting, but it is ridiculous. Serve Milos. The forehand chip of Fritz. Forehand to Raonic. Cross court. 40-15. That 4-4 game is the only kind of chance that a guy has had so far. It's more of a best serve contest at the moment rather than a tennis match. Serve from Raonic. It's a good serve down the tee. 5-5. 5-5. Zverev is also playing at the moment, by the way, taking on Sonego. He's at 3-2 there. Fernandez, I believe, won earlier. Very recently. Yeah, over Golubic, one of the one-handers on the tour. Tom Lanovich won over Zhu, which is awesome. Lin Zhu, I like both those players. Jabora Azarenka won, which is cool. That's in Berlin, which is a 500 going on this week. Murray, unfortunately, had to withdraw, so the winner of this one will take on Jordan Thompson in the quarterfinals. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the section is completely and utterly wide open. And I mean, these two are playing well so far, to be fair. It's just not. I mean, we've had probably one rally that's gone over 4 shots. I really would be curious about what that number is for how many rallies we've had that have been over 4 shots. Serve here from Taylor. Backhand of Raonic. The backhand of Fritz. Backhand of Raonic down the line. 40 love. What are we at for serve points won? Let me see. Serve Taylor, backhand of Raonic. That's in the ground. If these guys can attack each other's backhands, then it's only going to be trouble because both of them have relatively pretty weak backhand, very weak backhand returns for being top 5 players or former top 5 players. They both have very weak backhand returns. Okay, so Raonic has lost 2 points on serve. Taylor has lost 6 points on serve. I mean, come on. Raonic has lost 2 points on serve. Partly to do with his serve, partly to do with Fritz's return. Same thing goes the other way, vice versa. Anyway. He could have won one, will be applied to untold players. Yeah. True that. It's yeah, a lot of people will say that about a lot of players. Andy retired, damn it. Yeah. Sean, I'm a neutral fan, so you can bet on anyone and that player will win. Love it. Not a fit, not favorites. Not a jinx. Love it. Andy retired, damn it. Yeah, I saw that. It was unfortunate. It was, I mean, from the very start, he was just not moving well at all. It was unfortunate. I was happy that he at least came out for the crowd. It could be his last time playing in Queens, but I just didn't have it today. And Jordan Thompson's a tough opponent on grass. He's been a tough opponent all year. You guys remember Acapulco? He spent like 2 days on court and whatever. Every match was like 4 hours long, and he managed to win it against some crazy opponents. And now he's on his best surface. So, we mentioned that, Eliza mentioned that on the Tennis 360 podcast this week, which I fully agree with, is that Jordan Thompson is a dark horse. Well, she didn't say he's a dark horse, but just that he's somebody to look out for on the surface, and which I guess is a dark horse. I mean, what he doing? What he doing? Let me see. Okay, yeah. No. Los Cabos, yeah. So, okay, yeah, Los Cabos. So he beat Alex Mickelson. He was down 6-0, 3-0, came back to beat Alex Mickelson in one of the craziest comebacks you'll see. And then he took out Sasha Zverev in like 4 hours, and then he beat Casper Ruud in the final in straight sets. So, yeah, what a great run. He's going to be a big player to watch. He loves the net play. You see that in doubles. He loves big serving. And listen, he's improved in a lot of different ways. And now he's a top player, and he'll be tough on grass. Backhand's a lob. Might be going in. No, it's going out. 40 love. Taylor is struggling to really insert himself in this match in any way outside of the serve. That's really some of his big keys here, is to be able to lock in on return of serve and at least get some serves back, which he's just not been able to do at all. Outside of serving, it's just not been there for Fritz. He's won 2 points on return of serve. And listen, Raonic is not only making first serves. That's another first serve in the net. Fritz is still standing relatively close on second serve return, and he's been struggling. It's a good kick again to the backhand. Fritz gets it. Backhand slice. Forehand. I mean, Fritz just puts it away. I mean, Taylor is better than this. Honestly, of at least being able to be in rallies when he's getting in rallies, but just not there. Okay, 6-6. Let me know what you think the score is going to be in the tiebreaker, and let me know who you think's winning the tiebreaker. If you get it right, I'll shout out your username in the chat. I'm gonna go with Milos. I'm gonna go Milos 7-4. I'm gonna say Milos 7-4. Raonic 7-4. Let me know your predictions in the chat. Your player court actually won. Maybe I got it wrong. Yeah, that was a great one. I saw the end of that one. I'm putting the house on Ruud for Wimby. Sean, unfortunately, you're gonna lose the house. Maybe put the house on Ruud to win whatever golf championship is going on at the time. Forehand down the line, backhand slice of Casper. Forehand of Fritz. Backhand I say Casper, I meant Milos. That's a forehand volley out. Raonic with the first mini break of the tiebreaker. I'm just gonna start saying whatever players for the play-by-play. Casper suddenly on the court. No, Raonic with a great backhand slice defending. Just getting that one extra shot back, I think, put Fritz to some surprise. And if he doesn't get that net play to at least be a little bit better Fritz, then he's gonna have trouble. That backhand return and also the net play are a few of the weaknesses that kind of drag him back on grass. Although I do like him on grass. I think his strengths are so good on grass, but I just feel like his weaknesses are just not there. But it's 2-0 for Raonic. Backhand, that's a good return for Fritz. Backhand, that goes wide. 2-1. Good return for Taylor. Gets the mini break back. Let's go, Fritz. Doing well. Holy serve, stat bad match. What's up, Frank? All right, match is gonna wrap up. I don't want my boss think I'm slacking off. I really am. All right, come back when you can. Let's get served down the tee. Streams are always here if you want to pretend you're doing work, but you're not. Streams are always here. Absolutely. Hey, what's up, Tom? My surname. There you go. Love it. Root for your name twin. Absolutely. There's no real big Anthonys in tennis, are there? I'm only just thinking about it now, but there's really not. Who's like the most famous Anthony ever in tennis? Backing down the line. Forehand. That goes out from Fritz. 3-2 for Milos, who grabs another mini break. I said 7-4. Let's see. I literally can't think of one Anthony. So, I don't know. Let me know. What's the most famous tennis player or tennis-related person with your name? Let me know in the chat. I can't think of one Anthony, which is so weird because I've never thought about that. But I'm surely missing just somebody obvious. That's called out, but look close. Raonic is challenging. It was, in fact, out. Raonic with the second serve. Big moment. Big moment with the second serve. He's been doing well on second serves all match. It's a double fault. I felt like it was coming. Nerves are truly undefeated. Nerves are truly and well undefeated. I mean, Raonic lost 2 points on serve the whole match until this tiebreaker, and both times that he's gone up a mini break, he's lost his serve. Even in a serve bot, stat pad, whatever, serving contests, whatever, these kind of matches, too tall serving guys, whatever. Even this kind of a matchup where players play in this kind of way, you still have those kind of moments of small margins where things are decided with nerves and the mental game, and where it's just the little things come to play. I mean, I don't know if that's that exciting, but it's a little bit interesting that, I mean, more in these matches than ever, to be honest. Backhand return is very good from Fritz. Forehand of Raonic, big. Backhand of Milos, the forehand of Fritz down the line. Longest rally of the match so far. Backhand slice, the backhand of Fritz. That goes out. I mean, I said longest rally of the match when they had only played like 6 shots, but it really was. 4-3 for Milos. 8-6 Raonic. Oh, yeah. Look up Anthony Wilding. Yeah, Sean. I absolutely, yeah. Dude, no, I know Anthony Wilding. Guy died in, very unfortunately, in, I believe it was World War I. But he was, I mean, back in the day, his stats are ridiculous. He won like 90% of his matches. The dude was like, lost like 13 matches on clay out of like 300 matches. Like, that's even better percentage than Rafa. Back in lob, Raonic smash, put away. Listen, if you're going to lob Milos If you're gonna lob Milos, you can't have a trajectory like that because Milos is right on top of it. He was close, but he didn't have enough height on it. Need more topspin. You need more height. It wasn't there. Backhand. What a return from Milos. Drop shot. Milos can't get there. 5-4 for Raonic. I said 7-4, Milos. I said that before the tiebreaker had started. Let's see. 2 points. But yeah, Anthony Wilding is crazy. Shout out Anthony Wilding. Yeah, I'll take Anthony Wilding. I'll be happy to take Anthony Wilding. What about Sean's? What's the most famous Sean in tennis? Something to think about. But yeah, Anthony Wilding's good. Take him. Serve from Raonic. Big moments. Forehand. Fritz gets a return. But Raonic, again, the nerves. Can you believe it? Raonic has lost 2 points on serve coming into the tiebreaker. That's actually crazy. Wow. Wow, dude. Serve out wide, forehand chip return. Forehand Raonic, inside out, back into Fritz. The back end Raonic down the line, forehand to Fritz. Forehand Raonic sits in the net. 6-5 for Fritz. Listen, being on a match court with the crowd and everything and knowing that it's real, I mean, you can pretend it's not in the back of your head, but can you really, It's a little bit different. The nerves, the competitive, intense match play, and it's 6-5 for Fritz. Oh, how the tables turn. Fritz serve. Raonic in the net. Let's go, Taylor. Getting it done first set. More experienced in the recent times. Not more experienced in general, but he's been. I mean, Fritz has been in these kind of situations so many times over the last couple of years. The truth is, Milos just is not as much in the last couple of years. So Fritz gets it done 7-5 or 7-6, 7-5 in the breaker. So I feel like nobody got close because nobody said Fritz. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, it's close, but not quite for your name, Twin Tom. I mean, both guys not incredibly good on the first serve percentage. Fritz is manageable, but it didn't matter anyway because of this. Neither guy with any chances or break points. All came down to the breaker. We'll see if it's the same case in the second set. All right, start of the second set. here we go. Next set getting underway here. Is Sinner shot the other day shot of the year? It really might be. What's been a better shot the whole year? I remember a few in Australian Open were quite good. Alcaraz's around the net versus Lorenzo Sonego was quite good. I'm trying to remember other ones. There's been a few that I'm forgetting as well. Oh, Medvedev shot against Zverev in Australian Open, that semifinal, that forehand running up close to the net was quite good to pass Zverev. But I mean, honestly, if we're just talking about memorable shots, I can't remember a better one all year. Casper hit a pretty sensational tweener lob earlier in the year. Alcaraz must have done something at the French that I'm forgetting about. He hit quite a few great ones in the final. But yeah, if we're talking about shot of the year, Sinner and Indian Wells against Alcaraz hit this incredible shot close to the net. That could also be shot of the year. But no, I mean, realistically, I think that one was probably shot of the year. It's probably one of the best shots that we've seen in a while. I think it is. So far, I think it is. What was shot of the year last year? I'm trying to remember good shots from last year. My memory's failing me. Oh, Alcaraz at Roland Garros. Yeah, he didn't beat that one, but I don't think any shot has ever beaten that one. That one was insane. But yeah, Sinner. I think he has shot of the year. I would say so because it was so crazy to hit that, not just get to it and attempt that, but to hit it for obviously for a hard passing shot. The way it was really crazy shot. Kind of awesome that came in his first match as world number one as well. I mean, you could argue the Alcaraz match was his first match as world number one because he knew that he was going to be world number one, but he wasn't really world number one. So in his first match as world number one, to hit that shot was really something else. 30 love as Fritz hits a serve ace down the tee. $40 love for Fritz. Forehand of Fritz is a drop shot. Raonic can't get there. 1-1. Now, another question, is that the best shot Sinner has hit in his career so far? And it really might be. I can't remember a better shot from Raonic that blew my, took me aback more than that one. He's hit quite a few good ones, but it might be the best shot of Sinner's career so far. I always remember this crazy shot he hit against Gombos 3 years ago, where Gombos hit this smash and Sinner was real close, in the middle of the court. Somehow he hit this backhand kind of smash. I don't know how you describe it, but a 360 backhand shot returning the overhead for a perfect lob, which was quite sensational. That one I always think of. I don't know. He's hit quite a few good passing shots running back behind the court. He had this sensational kind of forehand shot against Hurkacz on clay last year, where Hurkacz hit this volley real close to the net, this drop volley, and Sinner kind of got this amazing. It was amazing he even got to it. He got under the ball and hit this kind of squash shot flick cross court. That one was sensational. But Sinner's point against Alcaraz last year in Miami. I'm totally forgetting that one. I think that's got to be his best shot, his best point of his career so far. This was probably his second best shot of his career after that one. Maybe this was a better shot though. I would be willing to say this was the best shot of his career so far, and that was the best rally of his career so far. I feel like that'd be pretty reasonable to say. The one against Alcaraz at Indian Wells this year is quite good too. But I would be willing to say that. 30-15 for Raonic. Prop higher rated because is more uncommon to dive like that. I agree. Shot of the year probably happened in a challenger match that no one watched, Sean. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But well, okay, but I still don't think any challengers always seem to have just the craziest shots ever. But I will say I don't think anybody even in challengers or maybe anywhere around the world hit a shot better than Alcaraz did at Roland Garros last year. That one that he hit against Djokovic in the biggest match of the year, I don't know if anybody anywhere in the world hit a shot better than that. Because that shot was just 1 in a million. That's how I think of it. That forehand goes wide from Raonic, so chance here for Fritz, focusing on the match here. Half a chance for Taylor if he goes up a set and a break. Danger. It's a good serve down the tee, though. Raonic escaping danger. Oh, wow. What a return from Fritz to get it. Backhand just stays in. Miraculously, Fritz's return lands right on the sideline, but Raonic doesn't hesitate and puts away forehand winner across court. Two one in this second set for Milos. See if it stays on serve. It's exciting to be back on the grass though, because I don't know. There's something different about grass. This is my favorite part of the season. I also love the aesthetics of grass. Like people don't really talk about that part of it, but just seeing the green of the court and just I don't know. There's something about it. Just I don't know. It's hard to articulate, but the quickness of the courts. It's such a novel, interesting surface, and it just takes such incredible skills. Let's put it that way to get through grass. I mean, it takes some of the most really like just artsy, creative, kind of talented kind of players that have like a full, complete game. Like those are some of the players who do the best on grass. Like players that can come to net and who can, hit drop shots and slices and improvise. Raonic here at love 15. Serve down T, forehand to Raonic, the forehand of Fritz, forehand to Raonic. Side out, back and Fritz, the back and Raonic down the line, hits a tape, goes over, forehand to Fritz, the forehand to Raonic. Forehand to Fritz, cross court, the forehand to Raonic. The cross court is very good from Milos. Coming in like a missile. Fritz under attack there from the forehand. Gets love 30. Chance here for Milos. Serve. Oh, forehand return stunning from Milos. That's the potential Milos has off that forehand shot. If you watched Milos back in 2016, you weren't saying this guy's just a serve. I wasn't. Some people were. People who are paying attention noticed he had quite a good serve. For his size, he moved decently well. And his net play was getting better, among other things. He was a very top-tier player, and he still got a pretty decent forehand when he gets in place to hit it. His movement is definitely a weak point, though, to be fair. Serve. The backhand of Milos, that goes out. 30-40. Milos needs to get his nerves down and really kind of get a return back and play, at least give himself a chance here if he can. First serve's a let. First serve is let. Serve down T. That's a great serve from Taylor. Feels like Taylor has the mental edge here at this point, especially if he can get out of this hole. First serve in the net. Still a chance here for Milos. Don't get it. I mean, this is going to be still at this point. This is still one of the biggest chances Milos has gone. Back in Milos. Down the tee. Down the line. It's a forehand now, Fritz. Backhand down the line. Taylor gets the point as Milos hits that backhand wide. Advantage to Taylor Fritz. Could be a big match in Taylor Fritz's grass court swing. I mean, I remember 2021, Fritz lost very early, and I remember the story of Fritz. It's a serve down the tee. What a game from Taylor. Down love 40 with some huge forehands of Raonic, but Taylor escapes anyway. Listen, I remember Fritz losing early at Wimbledon saying, listen, I should be one of the best players in the world on a grass court, and saying, like, I can't allow myself to lose this early. And he's like, I'm going to work hard and I'm going to have I can't remember what he said, but he said something like, I'm going to have a deep run here or something. I'm going to do better, and I need to do better. And got to the quarterfinals of Wimbledon without dropping a set and got 3 points away from beating Rafa when Rafa was playing at a high level. So, and he was Rafa. So, Fritz, I like him on grass. Last year, he was just had a weird kind of a season, especially post Miami and Indian Wells. He had a few moments where he did better, but U.S. Open quarters, Atlanta won. But for the most part, it was very up and down. He wasn't there for the grass swing. Second serve in the net from Milos, 15-all. It's a double fault. Once again, winner of this one takes on Jordan Thompson in the next match. I think that's an upset alert for whoever gets through that, or at least upset alert potentially for Fritz, because Jordan Thompson, I would really not sleep on Thompson. Serve back into Fritz, forehand of Raonic, the backhand of Fritz down the line, forehand of Raonic. Forehand of Fritz's drop shot, backhand Raonic sliced. Oh, Fritz slips up. It's the longest rally of one of the longer rallies of the match, if not the longest. Fritz looking at the place where he slipped on the court. Grass is slippery. Gotta be careful when you're moving and changing directions. It's much easier to change directions on a hard court than it is on these natural surfaces. On grass, it can be so easy to slip up as well. Forehand of Fritz, the backhand slice of Raonic. Ah, it's so good. That's a good slice from Raonic. If he can implement that slice into his game more commonly, that could be tough. 3-2 for Milos. Anthony Shaw of the year was a Flaming Zambuca. Yep, absolutely. Had to take a shot when Sinner got to world number 1. I do think that despite the long growing list of withdrawals for Olympics, that tournament is going to be so good. Djokovic was confirmed today. If we have Sinner, Alcaraz, Djokovic, Rafa all playing, it's going to be amazing, period. As long as we have those 4 guys in there, it doesn't matter who else drops out. It doesn't really matter where those players are even at, although it does a little bit, I guess. But if we have those 4 players in the draw, the tournament is going to be amazing. And for the WTA, I think it's going to be great too. I mean, Swiatek seems like a big favorite, but I would not sleep on Coco Gauff. I would not sleep on other players like Rybakina and all the players who did well at the French anyway. Paolini, Mirandreva. But especially for the ATP, I feel like the Olympics is going to be absolutely I feel like it's going to crush. It should be good. Sinner world number 1, potentially Alcaraz, though the guy who won Roland Garros, Djokovic in the mix, trying to potentially win his last Olympics, Rafa, the Rafa story. Backhand miss from Fritz. That backhand has not been there at all. That's one of his weak points on grass, is that it's just so hard for him to control that backhand on a grass court. It's a good serve down the tee. Perfect. Raonic is challenging it. Raonic doesn't look fully convinced. We'll see. It was in. It did surely look in. 15 all. Round of 16 of Queens. 2 guys trying to get into the quarters. First grass event, I believe, for Fritz following his clay season. Second for Raonic. Backhand slice, the backhand of Fritz, cross court, backhand of Raonic. That goes out wide down the line. Goes wide as he has a backhand down the line. 30-15. Serve from Fritz. Out wide, backhand slice, Raonic. 4 into Fritz. That's too good. Cross court. 40-15. Backhand, 4 into Fritz, drop shot. Raonic runs, gets there. Backhand pass is very good from Taylor Fritz. Very good pass. 3-3. Well, the fact that Fritz was playing so much on clay and is only just playing on grass again makes me a little bit forgivable to some of his shortcomings in this match so far. This is on backhand return, volley. Hopefully, he can keep improving it as we keep going. Backhand return, forehand of Milos. Backhand Fritz. That's in the net. Goes for a backhand pass. It's very close. That's in the net. Which American has the best chance to win Wimbledon? Not just do well at Wimbledon. Which American man has the best chance to win the whole thing? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Anyone name. Tommy Paul, Taylor Fritz, anyone. Serve into the net from Raonic. Forehand chip of Fritz. The forehand of Raonic. Down the line, back into Fritz. That's in the net. 30 love for Milos. If you could pick any one name, who do you have? Let me know in the chat. And it does seem, you know, they're not the favorites. But if in the reality that would happen, who are you looking at as, hey, at least maybe they could have some kind of a run? Who do you at least have on your radar? Ben Shelton. His serve could be good for grass, or anybody. Tiafo won Stuttgart last year, I think. It's a good serve and ace from Milos. He's not quite hitting 47 aces today, Milos, but he's still having a good serving performance. He's actually not hit very many aces at all for him. 8 aces. Oh, okay, well, I say for him, but you said 8 aces. That's not a fair statement, I would say. But compared to yesterday, let's put it that way. 8 aces for both is still crazy. 4-3. We stay on serve. We've only had 3 break points in the match so far. It did come as triple break point for Raonic earlier in the set, but Fritz saved all 3 of those break points. Once again, let me know in the chat who of the Americans do you see doing the best at Wimbledon? Who do you think could win the whole thing, if anybody could, or who do you think is going to do the best, even if not winning? Who do you think could do the best at Wimbledon, have the best run? I go with I would go with Sebi Korda. I'd go with Sebi Korda, I think. I've long believed that he has the highest potential of the Americans for a long time. And even I was rating my, I think, top 5 players, or top 5, top 7 players under like 24, 23 years old, who I'm the highest on when it comes to players of that age group of the next gen, of who I think could end up being the best. And for me, I put Korda in there. I'm very high on Korda from these next gen guys. I think that he's one of the guys I've had hope for. So I feel like he's finally kind of finding it, which is good. Finding his best. Fritz could definitely do something as well. Forehand volley, forehand of Raonic, back in volley. Very good from Fritz. I feel like Fritz's level in the forecourt is rising a little bit. He had a good backhand passing shot earlier. I still feel like he's got ways to improve. This is a good test for Fritz. It's certainly average rally length on serve. 3 shots for Raonic, 4 for Fritz. That's the lowest you'll ever see. That's some of the lowest you'll see. That's crazy. 3 shot average for Raonic on serve is hilarious. But it makes sense. I mean, it feels like the vast majority of them have been 2 shots. Lost my train of thought as well as what I was saying earlier, but forehand, the net from Fritz gets a 30-15. Can Raonic do a push here, or is it another service hold for Fritz? It's a good serve down the tee from Fritz. Gets to 40-15. Backhand, the forehand of Fritz, forehand of Raonic, the forehand of Fritz, down the line, backhand of Raonic, the backhand of Fritz, forehand of Raonic. Oh, what best rally of the match so far, forehand cross court, forehand of Fritz, forehand drop shot. Finally felt like we're watching a tennis match. That was the first shot rally over 6 shots. No, it was probably like 12, 13 shots. But it finally felt like a rally, you know? Now, listen, I'm a proponent of grass court tennis. I think it's fine. You'll have matchups like this where big serves. That's okay. But that finally felt like a rally, which was great. It was a breath of fresh air. But for some of the best things, sometimes you have to go through some of the worst, you know? That's just the nature of things. You have to risk. What I mean by that is grass court matches can have Alcaraz Djokovic, which is phenomenal. It can have Federer Nadal, it can have Backner Borg. Then you could also have matchups like this. And that's just the nature of things, right? But if you want to sacrifice in order to have some of the best things, the highest peak things, sometimes you have to risk having a few of these kind of matches that might not be as entertaining. That's okay. It hasn't been bad level. You can't say that. It just hasn't been as flashy. I mean, it's a terrible return from Raonic. Complete shank, but it just obviously didn't hit that right at all. It was attempting to hit that as hard as possible over his shoulder as Fritz hits a huge serve. It was never going to work. Not a great return there from Raonic. Advantage to Fritz down the tee. Back end of Fritz, the back end of Raonic, cross court. Back end of Fritz gets it. It's good defense, forehand. Back end of Fritz. This is what I'm talking about with the improved shots from Taylor. This is why I'm looking at Taylor Fritz. That's why. That's why I'm looking at Taylor Fritz as somebody to watch on grass. That is a point that he would not have played last year. That is a point that he would not have played 2 years ago when he won Indian Wells. His back-end defense, especially on defense, his back-end defense has improved significantly. Not so far in this match, it hasn't been great, but I feel like it's been getting better and better this set. And he's being tested out. He's been playing a lot of clay where he's very different in how he approaches his backing. He has a lot of time. He even tries to strike it a little bit, which has been pretty good this year, I think, which is part of why he had success on clay. But he's at least surviving a little bit off that back-end defense. He was doing that against Novak in Australia. That's why it was such a close match. He was definitely doing that against Tommy Paul in the final of Delray Beach. That's part of the reason I'm excited for Fritz on grass this year. He's improved in a lot of ways which people could really hurt him and attack him on backhand. He's at least doing better in that regard. A little bit. So hopefully he can keep improving in that regard because it hasn't been great so far in this match, but he's still... Raonic is constantly hitting big shots, and to return Raonic to serve anybody with that backhand, it's going to be tough. If you're trying to return Milos to serve with your backhand return, it's going to be tough for nearly anybody. Forehand chip, backhand slice, that gets a tape. Drop shot, that's also very good. Let's go Taylor, some variety. This is good stuff. Taylor showing some of his array of shots. 15-all. Let's see if Milos can keep holding strong on serve, or else we might be flirting with a 7-6, 6-4 scoreline. Raonic has kind of blinked in the moments where it's counted the most, a little bit. Forehand's a good block return. Oh, it stays in. Backhand, awkward forehand from Raonic. Hits that waist height. Forehand now. Forehand to forehand. We're getting some long rallies. That's in the net. What I say about flirting with 7-6, 6-4, it's 15-30. It's 15-30. Like I said, this is their first meeting. 2 former top 5 players. I am high on both players, even though I think that these are 2 players that a lot of people aren't that high on, you could say, but I kind of, some people would say I overrate both, and but I think Raonic's potential to win big titles could have been there had it not been for some of the injuries. And Fritz is a guy I still think could win a couple more big titles down the road if he does everything right. And we'll see. Grass, I think, is some of their best surfaces for both players. Hardcore definitely the most successful for Fritz so far, but I think he could do well on grass. That's a good serve out wide. Fritz is challenging. Bit of a late challenge, but he's challenging. Called in. His other challenge wasn't successful at all. I kind of don't think that's going to be any better at all. I don't think this was close. Oh, it is out. I just couldn't see it at all. Okay. I didn't see it at all. The sun was so much sun there. Also, Raonic served like 140 miles per hour. Serve down T, backhand. It's too good. Fritz with a good attempt there, to be honest, with that block backhand return, but he gets in the net. 40-30. Serve for the Canadian. Backhand of Fritz, the forehand of Raonic. It's in the net. Fritz gets to deuce. Let's go, Fritz. He's got to go with one more push here. Straight sets victory over Raonic on grass would be a great win, especially Raonic, losing just 2 points on serve up until that first set tiebreaker. And he was, come on. He's been serving outrageously good. Especially if he could break here, it'd be pretty good. His first serve in the net. Raonic would be disappointed with how many first serves he's missing in this match. He's been doing pretty well on second, but could be wrong. I believe Fritz is looking for his first break point in the match. And he does get it. I think that's Fritz's first break point in the match right here. Fritz nearly a game away from winning. I think he's looking for his first break point in the match. Here we go. Forehand return, forehand of Raonic, goes right back, forehand of Fritz. Oh, that just stays in on that sideline. That's all Fritz's mentality right there. And if you're judging how much mental side comes into tennis, you just watched that, right? This match is a perfect example of it. Just look at the numbers, right? Raonic had only lost 2 points on serve going to the first set tiebreaker. Every single time he would go up a mini break in that tiebreaker right off the first point. Fritz missed a forehand volley in the first point of the first set tiebreaker. Raonic goes up a mini break, immediately gives it right back to Fritz. I think he was up 2-0, then he gave it right back to Fritz. Again goes up a mini break, 3-2, double faults. Again up 4-3 mini break or whatever. He gives it right back to Fritz again 3 times. Serving at 5-4 again gives a mini break back. In fact, he gives back 2 mini breaks. And Fritz serves it out at 7-5. Then you go right here, and Fritz obviously just so solid there mentally, just fully locked in for that point. And Raonic just not so much. I did say flirting with 7-6, 6-4. That's what it ended up being. If Fritz can hold right here, which seems very likely. I remember how Raonic kind of helped Murray to win Wemby 2016 by knocking out Fed in a crazy match. Yeah, Snehil. Absolutely, Snehil. It was that was a crazy match. Raonic at his best was quite good. And yeah. Played Federer the next year as well, where Federer got his revenge. Hey, what's up, Max? Good to have you. Good to have you in here. Yeah. It's a good win for Fritz if he can pull this out here. It's a good example of mental mental fortitude. Fritz is now I don't know if seasoned veteran is the right way of saying it, and Raonic certainly is, but he's been around the blocks in these kind of situations just time and time again over the last couple of years, which is really helpful for his kind of match intensity at this point. Serve Fritz. Out wise, very good. Raonic in the ground. 30 love. They pan to a guy in the crowd who's just doing a golf clap as he's drinking something, maybe beer. I don't know what. That was a weird shot of that guy. I love it when they pan to just random people in the crowd. This guy was just wearing a full-on suit, just doing a golf clap, just sarcastically. Don't know why. Backhand slice of Raonic. Backhand. Oh, it's very good from Fritz. See, Fritz is improving on grass. Fritz is primed for a good result this year. He's been under the radar, but it just feels this guy will just keep working at it, and it just feels like he's primed for a good result. He's improving. He improved even in this match, and that's very solid. 7-6, 40 love. Serve down the tee. Taylor Fritz. He's at the top of for a reason. Maybe I'm biased. I don't know. I just good words. Good. What's the word? I have good opinions of Fritz at the moment. I have good opinions of Fritz. He gets it done. Raonic was tough too, but he just blinked in that tiebreaker. It's all about match intensity and being able to perform in the biggest moments. Fritz was able to do that better. He gets it done 7-6, 6-4 in 2 sets. The draw is wide open at the bottom. Could be a good chance after performing well on clay for him to get to a 500 final on grass. It would be Fritz's first 500 final. He has won 2 grass titles in the past, both at Eastbourne. But he's won 2 grass titles against some good players, Sam Querrey, as well in the final, which I would just point out. So a good win for Taylor Fritz in the end. Let's go, Taylor. Raonic would have liked to get more first serves in, although it didn't. I mean, it's pretty good anyway. Fritz played really well. I mean, he hit more aces than Raonic. Raonic hit 47 in his last match, which this number just shows how ridiculous that was. If you want to see any stat that shows how ridiculous that number it was, I feel like this is a pretty good indication that he only hit 9 here and he was still serving pretty damn well. I don't know exactly what this means. I don't think that's accurate, but anyway. Fritz gets through 7-6, 6-4 in an hour and 24 minutes. Appreciate everybody joining in. Fritz says his number 1 goal is take care of his serve and not get broken. It's exactly what he did, even when he was down triple break point. On-court interview going on with Taylor Fritz at the moment. They're saying that, yeah, Fritz has experience on grass. He's won grass titles, where his goal is in Queens. Fritz saying as that's interesting from Fritz. He's saying that his best results on grass have come either at Wimbledon or the week before Wimbledon. This is very good for Taylor. He's coming off good momentum on clay, which is probably his worst surface. It is his worst surface. And now he's already performing well on grass. 2 sets over Raonic. I don't know. I have good feelings about it. Stupid Milos Raonic. Taylor brutally smashed him. He had to leave tennis. Stupid player. Let's not send that much hate to the players. They're it's world class. And Taylor performed well in the moments where it mattered. So anyway, good things for Taylor Fritz, if you're asking me. And he gets it done in 2 sets. Good win over Milos, who would have wished he performed better, especially in that first set tiebreaker in the points where it matter. I will see you guys at the next one for the next one. Taylor Fritz in through the quarterfinals in a wide open draw.
was crazy.